What's going on, fantasy football fans? It's week 9 of fantasy football and you're watching The Couch. For this video, I'm going to answer the Twitter question of the week, go over the top waiver wire acquisitions for every position, including defense and kicker, the top players to drop, and also a couple sell high options to get those trades in before your trade deadline. What a crazy week in the NFL. The top 3 fantasy woes I'd say this week were Jordy Nelson, Marshawn Lynch, and Cam Newton all putting up terrible performances. The Atlanta Falcons blew a 21-0 lead in London, and Lamar Houston's out for the season after celebrating a sack in garbage time against Jimmy Garoppolo. Not a good look for him. Let's go to Twitterland and see what questions we have this week. If you want your question answered on the next video, make sure you use the hashtag AskTheBrain. Let's go to Twitter. Hank Drebin squeezes in 2 questions in 1 tweet. He asks if he should drop Anthony Dixon for Charles Sims or Jonas Gray. Also, Austin Seferian-Jenkins or Jace Amaro as a bye-week fill-in. Non-PPR, thank you. For the first question, I'm answering with Jonas Gray. I would drop Anthony Dixon and pick up Gray, not Charles Sims. Sims is more like a flyer. He has Rainey there, he has Doug Martin there. He's also on a terrible Tampa Bay team. Now, Jonas Gray has Bellatrix working against him, but I think he's going to be the man. It's him and Vereen over there, so I would drop Dixon and pick up Gray. For your dilemma at tight end, I do really like Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Lots of upside this year, but I'm going with Amaro. I think Amaro's going to get a lot of targets this week and for the rest of the season. It doesn't really matter who's throwing the ball to him, whether it's Vic or Geno Smith. He's one of the most targeted players on that Jets team. Go with Amaro. Okay, let's go into the waivers. The teams on bye this week are the Falcons, Bills, Bears, Lions, Packers, and Titans. Lots of teams on bye. The top 4 quarterbacks to pick up this week are Ben Roethlisberger. Of course, I had to put him in there with that 500+ passing yards he got. Andy Dalton, Robert Griffin, he should be coming back week 9 or 11. Washington is on bye for week 10. And Michael Vick. We got Geno Smith benched. And Michael Vick is just one of those guys. He may not be that great in real life, but he should be good in fantasy. Lots of running backs on waivers. Let's go through them as fast as possible. If you got Jamal Charles, you got to have Niles Davis as a backup. Denard Robinson is one of the most exciting running backs to pick up off waivers. Probably already picked up in your league, but maybe he's not. Taliaferro, he's a must pick up in almost every league. Andre Williams is a good pickup for long term, but a really good pickup for week 9. I expect Rashad Jennings to be out. Jonas Gray is another must pick up in all leagues. He's got Bellatrix working against him, which is basically running back by committee. That's what I mean by Bellatrix. Keep in mind Anthony Dixon is on bye and Fred Jackson should be coming back here in a couple weeks. Keep in mind that Ryan Matthews is real close to returning from injury. We saw Brandon Oliver decrease his production every single week, and he's worth a stash if he's available in your league. I'm hating on every Carolina running back, but DeAngelo Williams is the starter. Running backs are hard to come by. If you need a running back, he's playing Thursday night against the Saints. Then he's got some decent matchups. He's got the Eagles and then the Falcons right after that. Alfred Blue is a good hang-up if you have Foster. And Terrence West is back in the mix. He should be the number 2 running back in Cleveland, right behind Ben Tate. I like Juwan Thompson because he's a tough runner. He's on a good offense in Denver. And he's a touchdown vulture. He'll vulture some from Hillman every now and then. Travis Cadet is worth a look in PPR leagues, only if Pierre Thomas is out. So make sure you check on the status of Pierre Thomas and Kyrie Robinson before you pick him up. Stephen Taylor is out, so Grice is worth a look in deep leagues. Charles Sims is a flyer with lots of upside, but this is the type of guy you want to pick up and stash. You don't want to start him right away. And I rank the wide receiver pickups in this order. Brandon LaFell and Andrew Hawkins, must pickups in every league. Odell Beckham Jr. is also a must pickup. Lots of upside, especially with Cruz gone over there in New York. And a guy I'm really excited about is Martavius Bryant. He could be Ben Roethlisberger's number 2 guy over there in Pittsburgh, not Whedon. Just like Bryant, Landry could be the number 2 guy over there in Miami. And Dante Moncrief is also worth a flyer pickup if Reggie Wayne is hurt. And even if Reggie Wayne comes back, Moncrief could replace Hakeem Nick's role by the end of the season. And this is how I rank the tight ends for you guys. Lance Kendricks is a good pickup because Brian Quick is hurt now, and we see that team going to the tight ends a lot. Brady's on fire as of late, so I had to put Tim right here. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins a flyer, and Rivera is a flyer in deeper leagues. Here are the top 4 defenses to pick up. The Bengals are picked up in over 80% of leagues, but in some leagues they're not. So they're playing against the Jags. They're the #1 defense to pick up this week. Also, the Browns are playing the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are a terrible team. We have the Vikings going up against Washington, and Washington going up against Minnesota. That could be a low-scoring game right there. So those two guys are worth a look. And if you need a kicker for this week, I like Mike Nugent and Billy Cundiff the most. Look at these guys' stats. They're really good. And for long-term, I like the Cardinals kicker a lot. The 4 players that you need to drop are Brian Quick. He's out for the rest of the season. He's done. Geno Smith, he's benched for week 9. I don't see him coming back anytime soon. And we have Chris Johnson and Toby Gerhart. These two guys may never put up any production the rest of their careers. They should be dropped as well. The 3 guys to sell high on if you want to make a trade are DeMarco Murray, Jay Cutler, and Marcus Whedon. Why the heck do I have DeMarco Murray on this list? Well, I would try to trade him for somebody that's really, really good. Someone that's better than DeMarco Murray. Try to get over on the other guy. It can't really hurt. He's doing so good. He's the MVP. Try to trade DeMarco Murray for Aaron Rodgers and Le'Veon Bell, let's say. Who knows? You might be able to pull that off, especially if the other guy's a Cowboys fan. Now, Jay Cutler and Marcus Whedon, those guys are not that good. We know that. But you may be able to trade for someone who doesn't watch a lot of football. If you just look at the stats, they're not doing so bad. You can try to trick someone by trading Cutler and Whedon to somebody who doesn't watch a lot of football. I have a question for you guys. Lately, Marshawn Lynch has been not so good. In week 9, the Oakland Raiders play the Seattle Seahawks. Will Marshawn Lynch get 10 or more fantasy football points, standard scoring? Leave a comment below and let me know. And that's all the time we have for this show. If you guys want your Twitter question answered on the next video, use hashtag AskTheBrain and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you won't miss out on our next video. New video every Tuesday. I'll see you guys on the next one.